Blessings, everyone. Hello, beloved souls. This is Keleena. Welcome to my channel if you haven't been here before. I'm a light language DNA key code activator. I am psychic. I have all the gifts, all the clairs. I've been awake since a child, and on here I come in every month and I help to bring through the energy that is going on and also deliver activations to help you get through the energy, activations for healing, purification, activations to help you move forward in the process that's happening this month, and much more. So stay tuned and listen here for all of this information, and I will give you some information also on how to help yourself to go forward in certain things. I received this information from my own experience and what I'm going through. And also I receive information for the collective as well. So I've been doing this for quite a while, and my work is here. It's to help all of you, to benefit you, to move forward in your awakening, in your growth, in your expansion of your soul self. So I want to just tell everybody, please, I have a newsletter that goes out every month, and it has a transmission that comes in. All of my transmissions come in. I type them up with my eyes closed. They're beautiful messages each month, and go ahead and you can sign up for that on my website at KeleenaMalner.com. It's right over here. And also you can find it in the description down below on YouTube. So there's some things that have happened to me this month, and I always teach from experience because that's how my guides have taught me to teach. I've been around quite a while, and since a very small child, my team, my guides have saved my life several times. I would not be here today without listening to them. So one of my biggest messages is always to listen to your team, okay? Always to listen to the guidance within you. You know that you hear that little voice in your head. Something's trying to help you or to keep you on your path or have you go the right way. Listen to the voice, because that is your higher self talking to you, or that is spirit speaking, your angelics, whoever is here to help you on your path. So I'm going to talk about the first thing that just happened to me a few days ago, because it's really important, and I feel like it's in alignment with some of the energies that's coming in this month. And what happened to me is I live in Sedona. And I, in my own home, early in the morning when it was still kind of, darker in the house, I was walking through the house, and I had a Sister of the Rose, one of the women that I've initiated and activated. She stopped by for a visit, and she brought me some roses, and she had left, and I was cleaning up the stuff from the roses, and I walked through the kitchen and I stepped on what I thought was a thorn from a rose. And I was like, ah. and I threw the stuff in the trash, and I could feel the energy from where the sting was, the prick. And I was like, that doesn't feel like, I'm feeling the energy like a little vortex out. I was like, that doesn't feel like the energy of a rose thorn. So I turned around, and I had to get down closer to the floor to see what it was, and it was a scorpion. So I had stepped on a scorpion, not intentionally. We would never step on them intentionally, and it stung me. And so the venom was in me. And immediately, because I live multidimensionally, and this is one of the things that I teach, but I immediately went into the knowing of what to do. And not from an earth perspective, not from that way, but from immediately my body went into removing the energy of the sting, because it did hurt, okay, it does hurt, but removing the energy of the sting and the venom straight out my entire body, right up to source, and then bringing the light of source right down through my body. The white light came in, and as it was coming in, it was so powerful, and with intention, I took that light directly through that part of the body and right to the sting, where the sting was. And in that space and place, when I was doing that, I could feel the lessening of the pain and the sting. It was just like, it was like a vortex of energy on the bottom of my foot. And it was just getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller as I was doing that. And till I didn't have any pain, but I could not walk on it. I could not step on it, because if I stepped on it right where the sting was, then it did hurt. So I had to, I shuffled around on one foot throughout the day and just on the ball of my, the front of my foot. But I had called a friend who just checked, you know, with the local med center and said unless you have the you can't breathe and stuff like that, like a bee sting, they don't really do anything for it. They tell you to take ibuprofen, have your foot up, which is really important. So I had to do that for the rest of the day, canceled all my sessions, put my foot up. But I was in this state of activation from this scorpion sting. I took this as a magical gift from the scorpion. And what I ended up finding out when I was speaking to my dear friend Shakina that day, we found out some things that the scorpion does for people who are healers. And then I talked the next day to my friend Hortensia, and she said, "Oh, Keleena, that's one of the highest gifts a shaman can get. You either get bit by a snake and survive, bit by a scorpion, or you get struck by lightning." And she said the scorpion one was one of the most powerful. And I didn't understand that at first, and she explained. But the reason I'm telling you this is because of the way my higher self, because I'm embodied in as my I am presence, the way I acted rather than reacting. I did not react in fear. Instead, just immediately knew what to do, because the embodiments of who I am that are within me most likely have been through this before, but they also know that we can look at these powerful beings as a gift rather than coming from a state and a place of fear. And so this month, the reason I'm bringing this to you is because there's going to be energy this month that's going to feel like people or things trying to sting you, you know, or bring you into some state of fear. And how are you going to resolve that? Are you going to come from a place of fear to resolve? Are you going to react? Or are you going to stay calm in your heart and see things as a gift? Because something that we may have thought in our analytical mind was an opposing energy really isn't. It's a gift for us to see and feel the truth. That we have these powers within ourselves, and we have the gift to be able to utilize the power of Source through us to get us through these times of transition, these times of change, and these times when something like this happens to us. So think about that. Feel what I'm saying here. It was really a magical gift. My whole rest of the day, I was vibrating and going through. I felt when that venom was in me, I felt from that vortex, it went through my energy system, but it also went through, I felt my whole body started shaking, so it went into the nervous system. But immediately I was like, oh, we need to transform this right out. Transformed it that fast, because when you understand and believe and know you have the ability to do these things, you are in right mind, you are in right space, you are in the heart. And that's really important. That's the magic that we hold. Okay, I wanted to talk about that because there's some things that are going to come up. There's some things that may surface. You know, again, I always say stay away from the TVs on they're trying to happen, but it is okay to know about some things. You know, I have kids, so, you know, and I have people that will update me sometimes. And, did you know this is happening? I'm like, no. And so you have to feel into it, okay? Feel into it and feel into the power that's within you, because we're gifted this grand awakening, and we are gifted the return and the embodiments of who we are, to become our divine, most powerful source self on the planet this time, because we are needed for Gaia. Okay? So let's go on. again, I want to say, look at the opposers, look at those that we feel are opposing energy on the planet, but have gratitude for them. Because without them actually revealing their self, because this is where I want you to understand something. These people that have been more of the like that an opposing energy to what we like or what we want to see, they've been touched with awakening as well. In their touch of awakening, they're trying to hold things back. So what it's doing is it's opening this ability for you to be aware of how things have been run for so long, how things have happened in this participation on the earth, and now what you're going to do about it. So have gratitude, because even though it doesn't look like they're awake, they are awake. And that's why a lot of the wanting to hold on to the things that were secure for them are coming into your awareness through observation, and you saying, oh, no more of that. I'm not good. That's not for me. That's not for me. Don't feel like a fool. Don't feel bad about yourself, because I have a lot of clients that are like, they like say, I feel like an idiot. I feel stupid. I feel this. No, you've been veiled when you came here. And through the programming, of the mind that disconnected you from the true self of who you are, the source self of you, it was just part of the process. Now you're awakening. So have gratitude them, and have gratitude for yourself each day. Have a little gratitude for all the things that you've learned throughout the day, and make yourself feel good, because that's beautiful, and that's self-love. Okay, another thing, I have the note here of, and my Patreon members know this. I do have a Patreon that I meet with. My Patreon people, I think I have 4 times a month or 5 times a month I go live on there. And don't quote me on that, because I forget things. But I've been seeing a volcano rising up in the water. And so my Patreon people already know, I talked about this for like a month now, maybe 4 or 5 weeks. I see this top of a volcano as I look down over this ocean, and this volcano keeps rising, the lava keeps spilling out into the ocean. And I've just been like observing this, like, what is this? And there's a couple things that my team is showing me that it can be. One thing that, again, the energy of this, volcano is powerful, for one, but it can become the energy of, like, the collective is rising also into their own power, but we cannot like explode in this power. We don't want to explode in this power, just like we don't want the opposing energy to explode in this power. So the fact that it's circled in the middle of water, for me, is almost like we have on the full moon coming, the full moon. Shakina and I were talking, and she's like, the full moon is a Pisces moon. And, she's a Pisces and I'm a Pisces, right? So her and I are so much alike. We're always floating around Sedona. So it can be emotional, but there's so much love with the Pisces energy. And it's dreamy, and it's love, and it's fulfilling. But that's what I'm feeling like, that Pisces energy around that volcanic energy is almost like a harmonic balance, if that makes sense. And again, within yourself, if you're starting to feel heated, if you're starting to feel hot inside because something happened and you don't like it, bring yourself into a state and place of harmonic balance. Go to the water. Go, do something that balances that energy within you. Get out on the land. Do the things that you love. But this can also be the shifts and changes that are happening on Gaia as well, because she's going to continue to do what she has to. It's normal. It's a normal part of Gaia's process to be constantly evolving. She evolves through the way she shifts, shakes, and rolls the earth. That's her. That's her body. And if she needs to clean it in some way, she's going to clean it. If it's through a volcano, it's through a volcano. If it's through, tidal waves, it's a tidal wave. However she has to do it, she is going to do it. she's our mother, and we need to honor and respect her. And she's going to show us if we're honoring and respecting her or not. So, yes. Okay. Let me see. One of the things that I'm really seeing, observing, okay, this is with clients as well, and I have been through this myself, is detaching from the old, detaching from the old, detaching from, and I say this every time, persons, places, things, relationships. And one of the things that not this year I'm writing different, but last year I wrote all in my newsletters last year, and they're on my website. You can go back and see the old newsletters from last year. But in that year, I wrote about the relationship with the self and how the relationship with yourself is changing. So I wrote all about that in 2021. And I seem to be a year ahead with that, because I guess a lot of people are talking about the relationship with yourself this year. But for last year, for me, that was the energy in 2021. But I feel like that's the energy of ascension. That's what ascension is. It's changing the relationship that you have with yourself, because when you do, and you love yourself more, okay, you step up for the things, you step up for yourself in self-love, for the things that aren't serving you anymore, the persons, the places, the things, and you let them go, and you detach in gratitude. And so I'm seeing and observing a lot of my clients are leaving relationships. They're leaving land that's not serving them, because they're either in a city that's too busy, or a space, a place that's not serving in any way. The energy's too dense. But it's such an important part of our process, because when we honor ourselves, we have to remember that we have a choice here, okay? What I see is like the third dimensional, as the physical being. We have free choice of what to do. Our inner being is like the divine will, the free will, allowing the free will to happen, and the divine self and the service that you're here for to all just happen. But the free choices, these choice points, I talked about them in last month's video, and I think I talked about them in that little video I just did that was like 19 minutes long. That was very powerful, and not enough people watched it. I'm like, please watch this. It's so important. But we have to honor ourselves and respect ourselves enough in self-love to say, no more of this, okay? I don't deserve an unacceptable behavior from a place, in a space, or in a relationship with persons in our life, when we are giving love and we are trying to help people, and we're coming from the space and place of the heart, but they're just right back at us. And I've said to him, it's like having knives thrown at you, and you're not doing anything. So I've had that happen many times, where I'm always, trying to help, and I've had to realize, okay, I'm understanding this. It's not for me to help them, because when they're returning my help in a way that they're actually judging the help that I'm giving as something that is to control them, it's not right. They're not getting it. They're not understanding. And so their behavior becomes irritated and irrational and angry and yelling. So, to help someone just by saying 2 words, saying, oh, okay, let me help you, or I can show you, and then someone gets angry, that's where you have to step back and go, whoa, okay. Listen to the higher consciousness, observe where they're at, and step back and say, I don't deserve this. This is unacceptable behavior, and we don't have to be in relationship anymore, whether it's a friendship, a working relationship, lovers, marriage, whatever. You can end it and have that sense and self of respect. Where do you value yourself? This is so important. Where do you value yourself, and where do you value yourself in a relationship like that? If you let it keep coming, it's not right. You're getting stepped on. And it's time to shift that and change that. So detachment, I really see, and I've seen a lot of my clients doing this. They're leaving relationships, they're leaving this stuff. And, and it's taken them a long time. Some of them it's taken a long time. And they're like, why is it taking so long? And it's because of being attached. In the third dimensional reality, people get attached, and they get attached to wishes, they get attached to things, they get attached to environments. People get attached to their homes, their cars, in a relationship to a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a husband, a wife, they get attached. And if it's not serving you, the ego sometimes still wants to hold on to the attachment because they think that in the ego they're not going to get anything better, or in the ego, I'm never going to have that again. That's an attachment, and that attachment is connected to memories. And so if we see that we can create new memories, okay, by moving forward, we can let go of those attachments. I wrote about attachments and having to detach from people way back in 2014. And let me tell you, I had knives thrown at me, from, especially the twin flames. They were like, nah, it was just like, wow. I was like, okay, they're not ready yet. So, that's where I left it. I had to observe and see they weren't ready yet. When you're ready, you're going to detach from that which is not serving you. And it gets easier and easier. Okay? All right. Honoring your body this month, really honoring, I have been like my head's going, okay, I got to go walk. I've got to exercise. I've got to work out. But my body's going, I am just going to take my time. I'm going slow. And I'm like out there in Lemuria. I have to do a fast walk, so you can get, sweat, move the energy. And the body, I'm like out there, I'm like, I'm going to walk. And my body's like dragging. And I'm like, come on, body. And it's like, no, we're going to do this. And so really honor the body and what it's saying to you. If it needs to rest. The other thing is sometimes the body just wants to slow down the body because it wants to slow down the mind as well. And if you're like myself, like Julie said, in human design, my friend Julie, she helps me on my Patreon. She's studying human design. She's like, Keleena, you're a generator. You're constantly going. You're generating. And she said, it's just how you're born. It's just how you are. So I'm constantly generating these ideas. Everything just keeps coming in. It's flowing. And as a generator, I actually generate good energy on the planet. It's one of the reasons I'm here. So if you're a generator, you're here to generate this really good energy. It makes people feel really good. And so that's why people want to be around you if you're a generator. And but not only just the energy we generate, but we're generating things to do. And I don't get stuck in the analyze mind, the left brain. I'm more in the flighty, I'm in the right brain, but I'm like flighty and all here too. And I'm like, oh, and I got to do this, but I got to anchor somewhere. So, but there's times when we've got all that stuff coming in, but we've got to take the time to sit and let the mind rest as well. So if the body's pulling back a little bit, when the head's coming, come on, it's the balance that's needed. So there's a balance that's needed. The body's saying, just slow down. And so not only do I have to slow down the body, but I have to slow down the mind. That's when I say, come on, let's walk fast. Okay, let's slow down let's slow down the mind too, because the body wants to rest and it just wants to be. So when the body just wants to be, then that means we just want the mind to be. We just want to be. We just want to sit in meditation. We need to listen to that. We need to listen to this for the evolution of our soul. The more we listen to the body, the more we step into the space and the place that we're here to create and the things that we're here to do in alignment with our source, self, and love. So honor that this month. Really listen, because it's going to come up. One of the things that I'm feeling again and going through again for the last few weeks, and I tuned into spirit, and also when I was with meeting with Hortensia and Shakina. Hortensia, for those that don't know, she is the owner of Conscious Meals here in Sedona. And I just realized the other day that she was featured on Food Network. I'm like, I was like, wow. I didn't get to talk to her about it, but I saw the thing on her. She has the cleanest food in Sedona. And she's selling her restaurant now because she's got other work to do. She's going to do more of her service work. That was service work, but so yeah, so we will miss her there. But she we were meeting with her, Shakina and I were meeting with her, and it just was impromptu. We just happened to stop in. And I was telling Shakina earlier, I'm like, my whole body is just heating up lately. Before, for like a couple years, it would just be one chakra, would just heat up and expand and just expand and expand. And the heat, and the heat would take over my whole body and be like, ah, and it has nothing to do with women's stuff. It is your process. Well, now it's like the whole body goes into a heat wave. And so I tuned in. Shakina said she had that when we were sitting there at Hortensia's, and she goes, it happened to me. She goes, it just happened. It happened to me. I had my whole body heat up. So the two of us are having this. And well, I asked Spirit, is this something that's going to be having for everyone? They said it depends where you are in the process of your physical, okay, of your physical alignment, where you are in the process of the physical body becoming the light body. Now, some of you will not have this at all. Some will start having the chakra heat ups happening. And let me tell you that started for me at like the end of 2017, maybe the beginning of 2018. So it took a while. I went through that. So don't be, upset if it starts happening and it goes for a couple of years, or you've already been going through it a year. It's okay. That means you're in the right space and place. It needs to happen, and everything, you can't have everything happen at once because you'll just kind of blow up. So allowing this to happen, some people are going to really have, because like again, she and I were talking about the Pisces and I really feel Venus this month again. And I feel this energy of Pisces and Venus together and love. And so for me, when I feel it, I feel like really the heart is being activated again. And so you might have your heart, you might start feeling the heart activating, the heart heating up, the heart expanding, the awareness of the truth in the heart. And so some of you may be having that and not having the other chakras heating up, or not having the full body heat ups, but it's happening. It's part of the ascension. Everything happens at cellular level in the physical body, and then the energetic levels as well. So just know that that's happening. It's all good. Everything's taking its place and space and where it needs to. And yes, just allow. That's what I heard just now. Allow it to happen. Okay. My other note from my meditation. Now this this is what my last video is about. It's about that feeling, that disorientation, feeling. I would actually ask you to watch my previous video. I think it's labeled. If I can figure out how to put it on here in the corner like other people do on YouTube, I'll do that. I'm not so techie. I am techie, but I'm not techie, but I am. I'm trying to change that. I am techie. It was, are you feeling lost in your ascension or awakening? And what that was is about that feeling of disorientation. Where are you going? What am I doing? It's just, we're shifting. And I've been talking about this for the last couple of years because it's happening through levels. As you shift out of your old identity of and identities of the false created ego of yourself, and you're starting to become more of your divine self, you feel disoriented through that. You feel lost. You feel like, where am I going? What am I supposed to be doing? You walk through the house. There's times where I get up and I'm like, I can't get back into this physical body. And the physical body for me is it's a container, but it feels very restrictive. And to come back in the morning sometimes, it can be kind of hard. And that's where the disorientation feels for me, because the divine self is trying to come back into here. You know, your I am presence, who you are, your soul self's trying to come back into a physical body. And I'm walking around the house half the morning, I'm telling you, trying to figure things out, because I'm like, I'm still out of the body, but I'm partially in the body. And I'm feeling disoriented because I too am still leaving parts of the old self behind. We have to. Nobody's there yet. Nobody's ascended. When you're light, when you're all light, and it's, you know, you're walking around as a light being, then you've done it. So so we're shifting out of this old self identity. It was limiting. The old self identity, the false identity, ego self, the one that's the programmed you, it limited you. It limited you from so much, from the potential of knowing who you are, so much. So more of the soul self needs to be able to, it needs more room to come in. It needs more room. Doesn't mean the body needs to expand. It just needs to come in quietly, safely, in peaceful space, back in to be here. But as we're shifting out of who we thought we were, and even the identities of the lives that we've held before, we're shifting out of those as well. Because I'm seeing myself, I'm watching myself, and I'm like, yes, I have this life, or yes, I have, you know, I remember some of my lives. I remember details and stuff, but we don't have to hold on to that, because like I've said before, we're becoming the best version of ourselves this time. And so the embodiments, okay, of those different parts of yourself are coming in. You feel it, and you can feel it like out on Gaia, under the sun with Solaris. When it's time for it to happen, you know, that crystalline grid is amplified. You will feel that activation coming up from the crystalline grid and go right through your feet, right through your body, and expanding. And it expands at that cellular level, okay? And if it's coming in from Solaris, it comes in and it's like, it's expanding you, it's awakening you for new parts of yourself that you're ready for. So each time you go through your process, as you're going through your process and you're shifting layers of yourself, okay? And layers of yourself, you know, people refer to it as peeling the onion layers, taking off the things that are no longer necessary to hold on to, the old programs, who you think you were. Each time you remove a layer, that's your evolution, okay? Because you think about it, as it's coming off, you're evolving. More is coming off, you're evolving. Think of yourself here like this, okay? As it's coming off, it's coming off, it's coming off. You're evolving out of that which held you within, right? So that's your evolution. The more you grow, the more the soul can grow and expand, and you're letting go, those other parts of you are just falling away. That's your evolution. You're being born. You're being born into the true self that you are. You're finding that. You're feeling it. You're living it. And you're identifying with it as the source that you are. Not as someone you think you're supposed to be. You identify yourself as love, with love, within, without. Ma'tuch ntiyama at nyarashnam at ir sinkiana amor. It's the balance. It's in right harmony. And this is who you're becoming. The balance of not just the feminine and masculine within you, but the balance of yourself as the I am presence, as the source self in this physical body, to expand yourself, to be able to observe, to be aware, and to be in love. And that's who you are. Atura, Amaya, aquí. Shutanarasa. No. So a lot of you might hear me singing that tune and those tones. That is my vibration. That is my frequency. That is my soul signature. I had people I noticed just recently, they asked me, can I copy that and record that? It's actually my own energy essence. That's my identity beyond the limited self. So out in the spheres that we are, out in the stars, my identity is that vibration, that harmony, that essence that just came through. It's very cosmic. And when you feel it, a lot of you have said you've cried when you've felt that because you've recognized that energy, that tone that comes through me. Yes, we've known each other before, and we know each other in the stars. We know each other off this planet. That's soul family. That's the one. That's harmonic frequency, it's harmonic vibration, it is complete balance. Maduryama at nyarakia at uryama mo'ur shantanir. Okay, I'm going to bring in some activations really quick. So my team is saying, depending on where everyone is in their space and place in the process, but also where you are globally located, things are going to be a little different for you. But what I talked about is applicable to everyone, especially the part about the scorpion, okay? You don't have to let something that you think can overpower you. Because when you're in alignment with your soul self, you understand the powers that you have within. مطور أنت إتكاش نيم أرى أتنا كرئي بقت قد أشش هو يا ناتو سنام يا رهاو نهنا هيا نمانو يو مكا تيكي 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 هسه كده كده نو ها Amoria maya nada coração secreto não te quero xuxu hashumpu aman an it Mantiar udna, nietian at namir at ka. Okay. Some of you have throat chakra stuff. I really feel throat chakra when you're not speaking your truth. It's also about your artistic expression in many different ways, not just speaking through body language, speaking through the arts, okay? Speaking through conversation, speaking through allowing yourself to move, to dance, speaking through that which you like to express in some form of creativity. When this is blocked, you're blocking that. Release. Amor namat an ir etki amor. and all is well. Deep breath. Blessings. Now, when you receive the activation, sometimes people feel like clearing happening, and they'll feel like something stuck or a pain in a certain area in their body. It's not because the activation was bad. I only work with the highest benevolent source love light, highest frequency and highest vibration of my creator source. Okay, so in this, if you feel something stuck or you feel an energy or you feel a pain, it's because you have a block there. This is where I work in sessions with people to help them remove them. But here's what you can do now, okay? This is important. Place your hands like this and just say, I give it all to God now. And feel it release. It's up to you to do this. You have the power to command that energy out of you. It is your body, your energy body, your physical body, your mental, your emotional. You're the one that is in charge of it. All right. So that's all you have to do. Some people have to do it 2 or 3 times, but don't go, I give it all to God now, because that's not going to do anything. Okay. I literally have to teach my clients, you need to command it. I give it all to God now, and let it go. Because the command is where the release happens when there's something that's stuck like that. And sometimes it's stuck, it's an old vibration that part of you still wants to hold on to unconsciously, but you're here going, I want to heal, I want to get it out. So boom, you got to command it, okay? And there's nothing wrong with commanding it like that when you're in the middle of this healing right now, okay? So that's what I have for this month. You know, some of you are going to feel tired. Some of you might feel energetic. The other thing that's happening is I have other things in my house. I have like mosquitoes coming and stinging me. I got the scorpions stinging me. I've got fire ants that have been coming. I'm like, oh no, what is going on? So if you know me, you know that every time I have things coming in from outside, even though I'm talking to their higher self, telling me it's time for you to stay outside, a lot of times it's me getting the push that it's time to go. And that's how I listen to the signs of nature, and spirit helps me in that way as well. So, all right. I will leave everybody there. Hopefully this video is not too long. Where are we at? Oh no! I know you guys have said don't say that, but I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go a 20-minute video today. I'm going to give them everything. But I thank you for everyone who listens. And I know that those of you say you appreciate what I bring through. I appreciate you as well. And I appreciate if you guys, if I help you, please like and subscribe and hit the little bell. And the little bell, when it comes up, you have to hit all notifications. Otherwise, you won't get them. They change something. And I still have people complaining, saying, I don't get your notifications. And that's why you got to hit that little bell. So do that. And please share the videos. They're not getting distributed like they used to. So if you can, I'm trying to change that. Let's get that algorithm going. Like it, you know, leave a beautiful, positive comment. And I'm doing the best I can to try, and I know people have asked for certain things. I tend to cover a lot of stuff on my Patreon. And so for me to do it again on here, it's just been, it's a lot. I have so much going on. So my Patreon is, I know a lot of people were asking, what is your Patreon, Keleena? I think it's in the links below. I think if you hit this little thing that takes you to it, but it's www.patreon.com, and you have to do the / Keleena Malnar. And so there's different levels. You can check it out and see if it's for you. If it's not, that's okay. But this is what's coming. Patreon members, tier level 1, you get this, and all the other levels will get the second half of the month video. And I look forward to working with all of you and seeing you all again. I may have more little shorts coming up because I seem to have a lot of things coming up. So watch for those. I did some shorts lately, and I'm going to be doing more because people are going, can you do more of those little 1-minute things? I'm like, okay. And my thing is I'm not really good at holding the camera. I'm like, oh. So I got to get better at some of those things. But it's fun. It's fun. I love you. I love you. Keep going. No matter where you are in the world, know that everything is divinely aligned the way it's supposed to be. things that are happening on this planet is because this is the change we've been asking for, and there's some bumps and things in the road that are going to happen before we get to where we really want to be. Okay? I love you. Everything is okay. Motoria amaya aya. Amai ama. Eternal love, eternal light, eternal life. Maya kita aya. Blessings. I love you. Yo soy tu,